Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am so happy to be here back again and I hope you're doing good there, you guys. So in this video I will show you how to paint this beautiful muted pink flower with watercolors. This might look like it could be very easily, that it could turn very easily very muddy, like this one here. So, how to avoid this muddiness and paint this beautiful flower. So, let's get started. It's too thick, so I'm using some water, and you can see how I take some excess water off that brush, so it won't be too much of water. I paint these petals by using this kind of thin circle motion. As you can see, I try to slow motion it so you can see that technique. And I didn't draw this flower. I recommend to draw first, so it will be easier for you, especially if you are a beginner with watercolors. So I'm just painting up and down those kind of circles. One thing I really want to say, I have some big news for you. Maybe your flowers end up looking muddy or soaked, or just they won't look like you want. So that's why I made this course for you, so you can learn easy way how to start your watercolor flower painting journey. The name of that course is Effortless Watercolor Flowers. So it is for beginners especially, and maybe if you have painted some while ago you can learn something new. So if you got interested and excited about this watercolor flower course, the link is on my description box, so you will find some more info about that course from there. So let's see inside the course, hopefully. So now when those petals are pretty dry, I'm painting these other petals, kinda like very abstract petals around these. I'm tapping some contrast, some darker shade there where you see, like surrounding those first petals. And it's pretty dry, so it won't be looking like it blends there without helping. So I'm drawing my brush with that paper towel, and then I am doing that circle motion again, as you can see. Taking some color off kind of too, and tapping it or cleaning it on that paper towel. Now it's time to mix the middle part of the flower. So use yellow and this brown, like earth tone watercolor together, and mix more that yellow color to get that yellow, so it won't look like earth color too much. I used away too much of water. So how you can fix this when you have just soaked your painting? Just dry your brush with like paper towel, and then you can take that water off with your brush. And now I'm adding that brown earth tone color, just tapping it on the middle part like this. And then taking some water and taking off some excess water too, like this, and straightening that brush. And now I'm blending that brown color on the middle. And now you must clean your brush between these, because you don't want that brown yellow color on these petals. And now I'm adding some details on these petals, and you can control how dark shades you want to have with the same color mix by using water more or not using water too much. So here I'm using the same mix as I used in the first place and adding those, and I'm using my finger to get those lines more smoother looking. So yeah, this is art. You can do those things. I think, or I'm thinking like that you can use your fingers to correct something, but if you don't want to, then you don't have to. You can use the brush too. Now it's time for green parts and leaves, and I'm using green and brown color together to get that muted tone, and use the tip of the brush to get those thin lines. And I think this mop brush is pretty good for these thin lines because it holds watercolors very well, water or watercolor, and still it has that thin line where you can use which you can use for very thin details. Using that tip of the brush with these leaves too, I'm starting with the tip of the brush, then pushing it and then lifting it, and you can do that pretty quickly, I think. And you can paint some details, or if you didn't have that sharp end on that leaf, you can paint that later, but not too late. I wanted to add some veins too, so you can see that I'm using a bit of darker shade of that same mix though, and then I'm painting those veins with the tip of the brush. And then I added some more of that yellow brown mix on the middle of the flower, so it will be more alive and won't look like too muted, I think. Thank you for watching and see you next time.